Hi, I'm Catharine Titi, and this is what I'm working on. I'm going to talk to you about my new book, The Parthenon Marbles and International Law. Now, this is a dispute you've probably already heard about. You may even have an opinion about it. In fact, the question about whether the Parthenon marbles that are currently held in the British Museum should best be located in London or in Athens is not new. This is one of the longest running cultural heritage disputes. It is in fact the biggest cultural heritage dispute. Irrespective of where you stand, I hope you can give me a few minutes of your time to tell you about this book. In the early 1800s, a British diplomat, Lord Elgin, had the marbles hacked out of the ancient temple in Ottoman-occupied Athens and sent to Britain. In fact, Elgin's men removed half the surviving sculpture from the Parthenon. I took a fresh look at the facts, and a fresh look was necessary because there's rampant misinformation about what actually happened. And this revealed that Elgin's acquisition of the marbles was unlawful on a number of distinct grounds. The unlawfulness itself was confirmed at the time by two crucial witnesses. The first was one of Elgin's successors as British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire. That was Sir Robert Adair, who had the opportunity to talk to the Ottomans. And this is how the Ottomans reacted. They absolutely denied, said Adair, that Elgin had any property in the marbles. The second surprising witness was Elgin himself. In 1811, he wrote to the Prime Minister, Spencer Perceval, and said the Ottomans denied that the persons who had sold those marbles to me had any right to dispose of them. Notice he said sold. That was somewhat inaccurate. The historical record is clear on that point. There was no purchase. Elgin provided detailed accounts. There was no amount for purchase, but there were generous amounts for bribes. When the UK government bought the marbles from Elgin, it passed an act vesting them in the British Museum. This turned out to be a useful trick under English law, since from then on the marbles would form part of the collections of the British Museum. But under international law, ownership of the marbles did not pass. Knowing that ownership did not pass is one thing. Knowing what to do with that knowledge is another. 200 years have passed and the marbles remain in the British Museum. But something has been changing. Tolerance towards the retention of unlawfully or even unethically acquired cultural heritage has reached an all-time low. Think of the Benin bronzes that start to be repatriated. Think of Nazi-looted art that is being restored to the descendants of the people from whom it was taken. And think of human remains that come from indigenous communities and now start to be returned to these communities for burial. Institutions and states have started to return what Parthenon fragments they hold in their collections. First came Heidelberg University, then a museum in Sicily, and now the Vatican has announced that it will return to Greece the fragments that it holds in its museums. In the United Kingdom, museum deaccessioning laws are being debated. Institutions are starting to return cultural items, and the British people overwhelmingly support the return of the marbles to Athens. In September 2021, a UNESCO body adopted a decision that recognized the United Kingdom's, I quote, obligation to return the marbles to Athens. All of this requires us to take a new look into the customary international law on the return of unlawfully removed cultural heritage that is of particular significance to the country of origin. We have reached an inflection point, and what was mere state practice until now is turning into customary international law. Beyond the ethical and cultural merits of the debate, contemporary international law now requires the return of the marbles to Greece. The case for repatriation has never been so strong. Thank you for watching.